Hallo seuns en dogters, baie welkom by Afrikaans eerste addisionele taal, kwartaal 2, week 2 se werk. Ek hoop julle gaan dit saam met my geniet. Right, now that you have written those words 3 times each, we can move on to the language for today, which is lees en skryftekens. Now these are punctuation marks. So look on the second half of your slideshow in front of you. A comma. A comma is a comma. And what do you do with a comma? Jy gebruik dit om naamwoorde te skei of voor voegwoorde. 'n uitroepteken, that is an exclamation mark. Now what do you do with an exclamation mark? Dit kom aan die einde van 'n bevelsin of 'n uitroepsin. 'n punt is a full stop. And what do you do with a full stop? 'n punt kom aan die einde van 'n sin. Aanhalingstekens, those are quotation marks. Now what do you do with quotation marks? Dit word gebruik voor en na iemand se direkte woorde. And the last one for today is hoofletter. Hoofletter is a capital letter. What do you do with capital letters, or when do you use them? 'n hoofletter kom aan die begin van 'n nuwe sin, sowel as die name van mense en plekke. And then I have a little funny joke there for you. It's not really a joke, it just tells you in more detail. Can you see the yellow comma there? For those of you that don't have color, it's the first one. I think we should take a break for a second. And the full stop, I think we should stop altogether. The exclamation mark says, I agree. And then what are you guys talking about? Goed, vandag gaan ons Woensdag se werk doen. Wat is Woensdag in Engels? Wednesday. En vandag se datum is die 10de Junie 2020. Vandag gaan ons 'n bietjie taalwerk doen. Today we are going to do a bit of language work. I love language and I hope that you do too. So the first part that you have to do is, skryf hierdie woorde 3 keer uit om die spelling te leer. So do you notice which words those are? Those are the words that you had to go and read or give the definitions of yesterday. So boere, droog, wolkie, vrugte, groente, pomp, gewaar, opvreet, pampoen, verdwyn, lastige, veselperske. Please make sure that you understand what punctuation marks we are busy with and why we use the different punctuation marks before you do this activity. Now you have been doing it for years, so you should know what is going on. Your first part of the activity is, skryf die volgende sinne oor en voeg leestekens in waar dit van toepassing is. Now, roughly translated, it just says to go and rewrite those sentences and add the punctuation marks. Nummer 1, my broer John is now in graad 2. Can you hear I say it without any passion, because I don't know what are names, where's the beginning of the sentence, what punctuation marks am I using, so you need to go and add them. Nummer 2, ons gaan die Saterdag Tafelberg klim saam met my vriende van Langebaan. Nummer 3, ek gaan Spar toe en koop melkbrood, piesangs en skyfies vir ons gesin. Nummer 4, Eina, jy maak my seer. Nummer 5, ma sê jy moet nou jou werk doen. Nummer 6, Johan en Karlien gaan swem by Struisbaai en vang 'n groot geelstert. So you have to go and tell me, where are my punctuation marks and where are my capital letters? The second part of the activity, they give you a punctuation mark to work with and you have to go and write down your own sentence. Now, please go be creative. Don't just go and write 3 words and think that's a full sentence. You are in grade 6, so you should be able to write longer sentences. And if you're unsure about your answers, you may ask your teacher for a bit of help, but please try, because remember, you are not going to get better in anything if you do not try.